her. Her name is Monica Allen. Some of you may know her from a presentation that we did last week. So Monica is an awesome person. She's a marathon runner, and about 1.5 years ago, she was diagnosed with an inoperable brain tumor. Who knows what inoperable means? Yeah, you can't have surgery to take it out. So she's going to tell us a little bit about what it's like living with that, and also how she loves her brain, and how she doesn't let this stop her. Okay, you guys ready to meet her? Let's show her lots of respect. Here is Monica Allen.
Hi, thank you. I'm going to stay over here. I have some pictures to share today. So I wanted to tell you a little bit more about me and my brain and my life experience. A little bit about me. I love Hello Kitty, and I hate cheese, which makes me really weird. I'm probably the only person I know that doesn't like cheese. I was in Wisconsin last year and I saw these hats and I had to take a picture for my family so they would make fun of me. But I grew up in San Francisco. Picture me and my husband moved back to visit a couple years ago. And when we were running the San Francisco Marathon, they closed down the Golden Gate Bridge and we get to run across the bridge, which is really neat. You can see how much fun he's having. Not much fun. I had a great time. But so I grew up in San Francisco and I went to school at UC Santa Barbara and I studied mechanical engineering. So this was my engineering class when we went on a field trip to Chevron. We all got to put on hard hats and pretend we were real engineers at that point, which was fun. And my dream when I grew up was to design toys. I wanted to design like Barbie Jeeps or something. I wanted to work at Mattel, which is in LA, design toys, or work at Disney and design rides. So the engineers at Disneyland are called Imagineers, which I thought was really, really cool, and I thought that would be fun. But when I got out of school, I actually went to work at a robotics company, which are kind of like adult toys, I guess. But you know, these big robots go around and they inspect parts, usually car parts, to make sure that they're made properly. And I also worked at a video game company, which is kind of a toy kind of thing too, which is really fun. So I was an engineer for a few years, and I decided I wanted to go back to school and maybe get into marketing. So I moved to Arizona, and I went to grad school at Arizona State, and I studied business there. And Arizona is really where I really started to get into running. I joined a running group. I did my first 5K, 10K, half marathon, marathon. I really loved running there. And then a few years after that, I moved to San Diego 6 years ago, which is a perfect place for running. You can run year-round because it's so nice and it rains. And I kept running more. And once I moved here, I got involved with Girls on the Run, which is a program that I know you have here. So I coached in Carmel Valley. I coached the Girls on the Run team, which was the elementary school kids, and then I also coached Girls on Track, which is the middle school girls. I did that for a number of years, and my friend Tara, in this picture with me, we were both coaches for Carmel Valley. We started a business called Glam Runner, and we made tutus. So we made tutus for runners or people who wanted to dress up and have fun. And we started running all of our races in tutus and dressing up and just kind of having a little bit more fun. So living in San Diego, running, racing, working, everything's going great. And about 1.5 years ago, I started getting these really bad headaches, and they weren't normal headaches. Like, they didn't last for hours and ache and ache. They're just really sharp pains, and they'd come on for 20 seconds and they'd be gone. And they happened when I moved around. Like, I'd bend down to tie my shoes, and I'd get this horrible pain, and I'd stand up and it'd go away. So I kind of felt like something was wrong, and I saw a few different doctors, and I'm so healthy otherwise that people just, you know, the doctors didn't think it was anything and told me I needed to sleep more, needed to rest, not be so stressed out. But the headaches kept getting worse and worse, and finally I saw a doctor that had me get an MRI. So I don't know if you've heard of this. So this MRI machine can look into your body, and this is what they usually use to look at your brain. So you lie on this table, and they slide you into this big machine, and you have to lay there, and you can't move for an hour, which is really difficult. You can't move at all. And it takes all these really detailed pictures of your brain, which look kind of like this. So this isn't mine, I found it on the internet, but it looks pretty similar to this. So with that imaging, they can look at really detailed pictures of the brain at all different angles and different pieces, like they look at little slices. So you can see a lot of detail of the brain. And when they looked at my MRI, that's when they saw that I had a tumor in my brainstem. So the brainstem is that little part, like the base of the brain, if the brain were a flower, right between your ears, and your brainstem controls your heart rate and breathing and swallowing, and it's basically what keeps you alive, which is really, really, really scary. So after I was diagnosed, I was in the hospital for surgery. So since my but they were able to go in and do a biopsy, which is when they take a little tiny piece of the tumor and they look at it under a microscope and they look at the cells, and that's when they found out that it's cancer. They're also able to see what type of cancer it was. It's a lower grade cancer, which I guess is better for worse. But since I couldn't have surgery, I did radiation. So radiation is kind of like X-rays. You don't feel it, you don't see it. I would go in, you lie on this table, and you have this mask, and you can't move. Lots of not moving, this whole thing, for about 10 minutes while this machine goes around and shooting these rays at your brain tumor, and it's trying to kill them. You don't feel anything. It's just kind of weird to be in this room alone, not moving. But so I did radiation to try to kill the tumor. I also did chemotherapy. There's different types of chemotherapy. Some people have like IVs that drip in, and they have to do that for hours. Mine was pills. I had to take all these pills every night. I did that for about a year, which made me not feel so great. I was pretty tired, felt kind of sick sometimes, but I kept running. So this is the picture I think you might have seen before. This is the picture that got on the news recently. This is my friend Tara and I, who I still teach with, running the LA Marathon. So this was while I was going through chemo, and I had been running before, and I wanted to keep running because it was something that was important to me. Although I was going through treatment, so I was kind of tired and felt sick, but I still wanted to run, so we decided to dress up like superheroes to kind of give us some strength. So we got through this race really, really slowly. My friend was great. Whenever I wanted to walk, she'd walk. I'd make an excuse and say, let's take pictures, which is an excuse to stop running, and we'd take pictures. And then after that, I did the Long Beach Marathon with my friend Barb later in the year. And then last month, we ran the Napa Valley Marathon as Mario and Luigi. So that was our attempt at Mario and Luigi. So that was pretty fun. But my friends and I really like dressing up for races. It just makes things a little bit more fun. This is when we dressed up like a bunch of minions. We also did a race this past, or not a race, but a run this past weekend for a friend of ours who's getting married. We all dressed up like garden gnomes. And then aside from tutus, we also have fun sometimes wearing crazy pants. We found these weird peacock pants and wore these for a race just because they're fun. And this is one of my favorites. I did another race where we all wore these cosmic cat pants. And you do a close-up on these. These are really awesome. There's cats flying through space. They sell these at Target. And I saw this quote, which I think really kind of made me smile. So there's power in looking silly and not caring that you do. So for all of us, as individuals, we express ourselves, my friends and I, running by wearing different outfits. And I know we look kind of silly, but it's something that we have fun doing and that we're comfortable doing. So as far as reasons that I love my brain, one reason is that it helps me be caring. These are my two little doggies, Mika and Kona. Multi-poo and a peekapoo. Let's make peekapoo. I had to show a couple more pictures of my peekapoo. This is when she injured her paw, and they wrapped her up. She was like a little pirate with a little peg leg, so they just wrapped it up so she wouldn't lick it, but that was cute. I also love my brain because it helps me be intelligent. I wanted to be an engineer since I was a little kid, just like my dad. I wanted to grow up and be like my dad. And when I graduated with my mechanical engineering degree, that was like a dream come true. I also love my brain because it lets me be creative. I'm not the greatest artist, but I took this paint class with some friends recently where there's 30 people all trying to paint the same painting, and there's one teacher, and she goes step by step, as you can see on the left. So she does step 1, paint the top blue, and we all paint it blue. Step 2, paint in the water. And in the end, our paintings actually kind of look like they're supposed to. Which is amazing. And this is another time my friend Tara and I did this as well, and you can kind of see we're both trying to do the same painting, but they look a little bit different, but they're pretty close. I also love my brain because it allows me to be confident. I think you saw the Katie Couric segment, and I was really, really nervous going on. I mean, I was afraid of being on TV and saying something stupid or just not answering the question properly. I was afraid of tripping, so I had to walk out on the stage. I thought, what if I trip right when I walked out? So I was really nervous about going on, but I kind of had to not show that and just be confident and know that I could answer the questions properly and know that I could do good on this segment. I also love my brain because it allows me to be motivated. Running a marathon in particular requires a lot of motivation. This was at mile 20 at one of the races, and does anyone know how far a marathon is? was 26.2 miles, which is like here to downtown San Diego. So a mile 20 in the race, that's kind of like when you get to 20, you know you're going to finish. You've gotten 20 miles in. You still have 6 miles to go, which is another hour. So just staying motivated and staying positive and keeping yourself going forwards for the finish line is really important. I also love my brain because it allows me to be brave. I'm somewhat afraid of heights, so see this building, that's the Manchester Grand Hyatt, downtown San Diego. And I did an event where we rappelled down the side of it, and it was part of a fundraiser for brain cancer research, which was terrifying, but then once it was over, I thought, okay, I'm so glad I did that. It wasn't as scary as I thought. I didn't look down much, I just kind of looked at the wall halfway down, and when I got closer, I looked down. I love my brain because it allows me to be supportive. When I'm not running races and I have other friends who are running races, I love coming out to cheer them on. My friend Simone was running the first half marathon. She has a little pug. Can't really see the picture in the top, but my friend and I came out and we had signs and we cheered her on and we cheered on the other runners, which was a lot of fun. My other friend Allison has a sign that says free high fives, which a lot of people took. It was free. And I love my brain because it allows me to be optimistic. So, you know, I have an inoperable tumor, which is an incurable cancer, which means that right now they said that there's no hope for a cure, and that I'm always going to be living with cancer as long as I can, which is like really, really, really scary. But I try to focus on the fact that today I feel fine, I'm healthy, I go to work, I can still run, and that so much research is being done with cancer that we're making advances every day, and I'm just hoping that someone can look at a cure soon. So, you know, doing some of these fundraisers that raises money for brain cancer research is important to me. So I'm hoping that they'll have some sort of treatment in the future and that I can keep on running and wearing tutus and looking silly with my friends. So, thank you.